Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. I'm so excited to have you here. My name is Tara and I am a mom of two boys, Lincoln who is 3 and Lucas who is 14 months. Today's video is going to be all about the Montessori weaning table. Today I am filming in our kitchen, specifically the area of our kitchen that we have our weaning table, and I wanted to talk to you about what the Montessori weaning table is, the benefits of it, and why we have decided to use it in our home. In Montessori schools and many Montessori homes, you may notice something, a small child-sized table that the children eat at, which is commonly called the weaning table. For many Montessori families, weaning isn't just about going from breast or bottle to solid food. It is also about the child learning independence and becoming an active participant in the family. Maria Montessori noted that children work better when they have child-sized furniture and objects. When children use furniture that is adult-size versus child-size, children can become too independent on adults to help them. So this limits their ability to learn, explore, and move around independently. Now that we have a little background about the Montessori weaning table, let's start with some common questions. A weaning table is essentially just a table and chair that are comfortable size and height for your little one. You don't need anything fancy. The key is a small and sturdy table that fits your child's size. A child needs to be able to get in and out of the chair without fear of the chair tipping over or the table tipping over. And they should be able to sit at the table without assistance. This is why the weaning tables have high sides and backs to prevent the babies from falling out of the chair, and it helps them to sit up correctly and helps them keep their balance. This sometimes means you may need different size tables and chairs as the child grows, or something like the sprout table and chairs that we have that grow with your child. Another question is, what age can you start? Every child is different, but once the child is ready to start experimenting with solid foods and can sit on their own is usually the time when they are ready for a weaning table. Usually this ends up being around 8 to 10 months, but sometimes as early as 6 months. Again, there is no exact age, and this will really depend on your child. I would argue that the main benefit of the weaning table is that it promotes independence. Child-sized furniture, or in this case the weaning table, gives children the freedom to move independently. It allows babies to transition to eating solid food, and it also gives them the independence to get in and out of their chair alone. You might be thinking, but Tara, I don't want my child to be able to get in and out of their chair at mealtime, and this is why you use a high chair. And I would say to that, yeah, fine, continue to use your high chair. But if you are searching for this video, I'm going to assume that you are looking for a different approach, or at least are interested in learning more about the Montessori approach to eating. With a weaning table, your child is going to test boundaries, and I would argue that that would happen with a traditional high chair as well. But as the prepared adult, we are going to try something new in order to help foster their independence. When introduced at a young age, the independence becomes sort of second nature, and the boundaries that are implemented at a young age aren't tested nearly as much as implementing these boundaries at an older age. And I'll talk later in the video about our experience starting with a weaning table later, but when starting early with a baby or a young toddler, this sense of independence creates a child who has a clear understanding of when and how to eat at a table by themselves. The next benefit is the comfort and proper ergonomics of a weaning table. As I said earlier, having a table and a chair that fits to your child is key. Feet should be flat on the floor, and a child should be able to sit up in the chair. High back and sides help to keep the child seated. So even when sitting in a high chair, I would say that proper ergonomics are so important. Having a high chair that's fitted to your baby is just as important as having a weaning table that fits them. This is also a great place for siblings to interact and bond. The weaning table provides a space for siblings to eat together and helps them with sharing and caring for their sibling. It gives the older child a chance to help their younger sibling by helping them pour a drink or modeling the way to use a utensil. I am very aware of sibling struggles, and I'm not saying that it's always going to be rainbows and sunshine, but if you never give your children the opportunity to eat together, they're never going to learn. And it is amazing to me how much better my children are eating together on their own than sometimes they do eating with me. Something about the parent not being there hovering over them really allows them to put their skills and independence into practice. The weaning table promotes learning the manners that go along with sitting at a table from a young age. When you start young, this will be the norm for your child. Because the table is at their height, they can learn how to set their own table, and this is commonly done with the help of a placemat that may outline where the items belong. And they will also learn how to help with cleaning up their table and their place. They learn to care for their environment, which is a key Montessori practical life activity. The table is also very versatile. Outside of mealtime, it provides a place for little ones to work on coloring, paint, crafts, or other things, maybe even reading. We use our table for so many different things like arts and crafts and Play-Doh, kinetic sand, and so much more. The weaning table also promotes self-feeding. So with the parent not being there to spoon feed or monitor every bite, children learn to eat at their own pace, to feed themselves, and therefore they can work on improving those fine motor skills like learning to eat and drink on their own. I do recommend staying close by, especially when your little one is young, but being close without hovering over every bite is going to give room for exploring self-feeding. I did not start practicing Montessori in our home until my oldest son was 2 and my youngest son was around 6 months. I am a firm believer that it is never too late to start Montessori in your home. So I started off with a table that was probably too big for my 2-year-old, the IKEA lat table, and it definitely was not appropriate for a 6-month-old. So I'm not really sure if I started off right away using a table that correctly fit my child. Really until recently when we got the Sprout weaning table when Lucas was about 11 months, and I got that to make sure that he was sitting at the table correctly. The next thing is a weaning table all or nothing? We actually use a hybrid approach with my second son. I decided to keep him in the high chair with us for the first couple of months until he was really able to crawl and show more interest at sitting at a weaning table. And then when that happened, I moved him to sitting at that table with his brother for snacks and maybe a few meal times. I've said this before, but I personally do not believe that there is one right or wrong way to Montessori at home. When you're talking about a home environment, everyone's home is going to operate a little differently, and you need to do what works for your family and your home. The Montessori approach is all about finding ways to help your children make big progress in their development. The weaning table is just another element that can help your child to get a head start on this Montessori style of learning and help them to learn valuable skills at a young age, or much younger than children who don't practice Montessori in their home. Helping children learn to make choices and be independent at a young age is going to help them be successful later in life. In addition to fostering independence at a young age, your children will learn that it's okay to try new things and to ask for help when they need it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to see more of how we Montessori at home, be sure to check out my other Montessori at home videos. I will put a link to the playlist in the description box below. I have so many videos planned for this year, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on any of those. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.